Hello and welcome to my reaction for Sky Bet Championship season 24-25. Obviously the channel didn't start back then, but I did make some predictions before the start of the season, so let's just dive straight into them. So we'll start at the bottom of the championship in real life and then work our way upwards. So we'll start Cardiff City. This was a really bad prediction for me. I predicted them 12th. I thought they'd be fine under Errol Bullet at the start of the season. He went and it all went to pot. I mean, it's pot before because they were bottom and last, weren't they? Between game week 10 20 down to game week 30 as well. And then Omar Arisa came in, the caretaker manager, got a few results, appointed him as full-time, and it just went downhill. From there, for Cardiff City, only 9 wins all season for them. 12th place. What on earth was I thinking? I really don't know. So yeah, I predicted 12th. They finished bottom in the end, and they are relegated to Sky Bet League One. Yeah, it's probably one of the worst predictions I've done. But yeah, Cardiff City -12. That is shocking. And Omar Reza basically got them relegated. They should have hired a proper manager and a proper coach. But yeah, Cardiff predicted 12th, finished 24th. Shocking. Into 23rd spot we go, and I went with Plymouth, and I didn't get that right. I got it. I was out by one position. I said they'd finish bottom. Just because of the Wayne Rooney appointment at the start of the season, they were abysmal. They did get a few results under Rooney when they were beating Luton, I think it was. Got a couple of draws in there with Rooney. So yeah, decent for Plymouth. The prediction was absolute horrible season for them. Muslich, if he came in at the start of the season, they would have been fine. They would have easily stayed up. They got a win against Portsmouth under Rooney before he went at Christmas to get Blackburn. They did have a couple of good results playing John Eustace, Blackburn, Luton, beating Sunderland at home. Home form was very good. They only lost a few games 1-0 away, and then they got spanked 5-0 away at Cardiff. Not sure what that was all about. Then Muslich came in, spent a bit in January, and they seem to do all right. So, yeah, decent prediction from me. Only one spot out and probably should have finished bottom if Cardiff actually appointed a manager. So, yeah, Plymouth owned 23rd. I predicted bottom, and they basically got what I thought they did. So, yeah, good prediction from me. Decent one, that. Only +1 in it. Well, where do we start on this one with Luton Town? 22nd. I predicted them 3rd. Embarrassing from me, really. But yeah, I can't say anything. They were favourites to go up. I think they lost a few players, but it was pretty much the same team. Tahith Chong stayed, Carlton Morris stayed, Adebayo. I think they lost a few players injury. They spent in the January transfer window. They got Asgard in, Ali Clark, the guy from Huddersfield as well, Taylor, Mengi, McGuinness. That team should have stayed up, and Kaminsky and Net, of course, Belgian international. Really embarrassing prediction from me. I don't know what to say. Rob Edwards got them in, and then they were just terrible, and then they appointed Matt Bloomfield. A little bit of a revival towards the end of the season, but that's because they were fighting for their lives at the back end. So yeah, that was a pretty crap prediction from me, really. +19. I mean, that was my worst one, but that's what I expected with the parachute payments and all that. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Luton, it was a horrible season for them. Matt Bloomfield, Rob Edwards just couldn't get them playing football compared to last season, sorry. But yeah, abysmal prediction from me. Luton -19 in 3rd. I predicted them. They finished 22nd. And back-to-back relegations for Luton Town, similar to Sunderland a few years back. Into 21st spot we go, and it's another shocker from me, and it is Hull City that I've seemed to have absolutely ballsed up. This time, 21st spot for them. I predicted them 8th. I think they still would have done well. I don't know, who was their manager at the start of the season? Oh, I forgot. Oh, it was, what's his name? Walter. That was it. Tim Walter, I think. He got sacked within a few weeks of Hull. I think he would have kept them up comfortably, and then that all changed, and then they did lose a few games, and then it all went to pot really, and then they sacked him. Could get a manager in for a while, then got Ruben Selles from Reading. So yeah, -13 for Hull. Shocking again from me. Hopefully as we go through this predictions video, the predictions will start to get a little bit better. But yeah, Hull, 21st spot. And they finished 8th, -13. Absolutely horrific season for Hull City, and probably should have gone down in the end. A little bit better of a prediction now as we go into 20th spot, and it is Preston North End. I predicted them to finish 18th, only a -2. I expected them to do a little bit better than they did originally, but Ryan Lowe left after one game, that home game against Sheffield United, I remember. Yeah, terrible from Preston, horrible season. Didn't find a manager for 5 or 6 games. They're right at the foot of the table. Paul Heckingbottom looped them out of that hole, got to mid-table, were doing actually quite well under him, and then got sucked in right at the end of the season. But yeah, Preston, that was a bad prediction, only -2. As Majic and Jakobsen had plenty of goals between them, 21 goals between them, just couldn't stay up really, and they were the only real goals that came from Preston this season were as much. And Emil Rees, of course. Yeah, horrible season for Preston. Heckingbottom be looking to spend if Preston do want to spend in the summer. But yeah, horrible. No, it wasn't a horrible prediction. It's a horrible season for Preston. Good prediction for me. Only 2 in it from 18th to 20th. Into 19th spot we go, and I had Derby County. Of course I bloody did. I said, no, I didn't have Derby in 19th, sorry. I had them to get relegated under John Eustace at the end towards the back end of the season. I mean, it did look like they were going to get relegated when Paul Warne was still in charge, of course. But yeah, then they sacked him, did the right thing, brought in John Eustace, who betrayed Blackburn Rovers, remember. So, yeah, good for Derby. They stayed up. That was their objective with the backing. Marcus Harness and Jerry Yates getting them over the line towards the end of the season. Brilliant players for this level. So yeah, Derby exceeded expectations for me because I thought they were going to go down with the money they had, but they at the end of the day they stayed up, and yeah, good for Derby County in this one, and I underestimated them, and they've definitely stayed up under John Eustace, so maybe can kick on for the playoffs next season. Into 18th spot we go, and it was Stoke City, but I predicted them to finish 21st. So yeah, similar with Derby, it was a +3 for Stoke at the end of the day. Mark Robbins keeping them up at the end of the day. And will they kick on next season? It won't look like it because they ended the championship campaign very miserably this season. So another +3 for Stoke. I thought they would have been poorer, because they did have, who did they have in charge at the start of the season? Steven Schumacher, that was it. Then he was sacked very harshly, I think, because they were actually doing okay under him. But yeah, right decision to sack him because he hasn't done any better at Bolton Wanderers. Mark Robbins came in. He said it was the toughest job, and he definitely proved to be for Mark Robbins and Stoke. So yeah, +3. I underestimated them again. Bit like Derby. And yeah, Stoke with a +3 for me. So yeah, terrible again, pretty much, because I said they'd finish 21st and they finished 18th. So yeah, good, decent season for Stoke. Another team I underestimated it, and it was Oxford United. They finished up in 17th under Gary Rowett, which was a brilliant appointment. I said they finished 23rd. It was looking like that when Des Buckingham was in charge, but then he eventually got sacked by Oxford, brought in Gary Rowett, very good, safe pair of hands, and yeah, they stayed up comfortably, didn't they? And fully deserved to stay up, really. But yeah, good one for Oxford. They are comfortably safe. They were comfortably safe with the game to spare as well. So Gary Rowett did a brilliant job in keeping them up. He had more time than he did at Birmingham last season, or 2 seasons ago if you count the next season as the new season. So yeah, good for Oxford United, and they have comfortably stayed up under Gary Rowett and exceeded everyone's expectations, which wasn't the thing at the start of the season because everybody backed them to go down, but they've stayed up under the miracle and got the managerial appointment right with Gary Rowett. Into 16th spot we go, and it was Portsmouth. I predicted them to finish 14th. I thought they would have a very good, solid first season back, didn't I? And I was only off by 2 places, I think, with a couple more away wins. They definitely would have got it 14th place. It's just their away form was absolutely abysmal. Their home form kept them up this season. They were brilliant at Fratton Park this year. Colby Bishop having 11 goals, and he was injured for half the season, so God knows what would have happened to Portsmouth if that didn't happen. Callum Langstar, one of the players of the season, along with Josh Murphy, 7 17 goals between Lang and Murphy combined. John Messina has done a cracking job at Portsmouth this season to keep them up, because it was looking like they were going to go down at the start of the season and my prediction was looking terrible. But yeah, they got up to 16th position in the end, and it was a decent point. 16th place finish for Portsmouth and a good solid year, first year back in the Championship, and only 2 places off with the prediction in this one. So yeah, good for Portsmouth. 14th, I predicted them. They finished 16th. Into 15th spot we go. QPR finished in 15th. I said QPR would finish in 10th. I thought they would do a bit better than Marti Cifuentes. Under Marti Cifuentes, sorry, but now he's been placed on garden leave. God knows what's happening there. But this season as a whole for QPR has been a bit sluggish. They started off really poorly, and they were looking to go down at one point. Cifuentes was facing the sack from Queen's Park Rangers, but then turned it around, got some form on the board. A bit like Portsmouth, they were the bottom 2 clubs in like October, November time, but then they somehow managed to hurl their way out of it. 15th for QPR. They probably would have got 10th if they started the season properly. Decent prediction from me, as it was looking absolutely terrible at the start of the season, wasn't it? 15th and 10th, not bad, only -5 difference. So QPR okay in this one, and 10th to 15th isn't bad at all. Into 14th spot we go, and Watford finished there in real life, and I said Watford would finish 15th, so I was only 1 position out. Doesn't really matter. I just needed to switch Watford and Portsmouth around, really, and it would have been a bit more ideal. I thought Watford were going to struggle with Tom Cleverley at the start of the season, and they definitely did. They definitely didn't, because they were in the playoffs at one point, then just fell off that little bit more, and that's why they're in 14th. Another bit of a poor start, and they would be in 15th, only finishing a point ahead of Queen's Park Rangers. So this wasn't a bad prediction at all. 1 place in it, pretty accurate, I would say. 14th, pretty good, happy with that. 15th, sorry, pretty happy with that. They finished 14th. Keep getting that mixed up. Decent prediction from me. Only 1 in it. And Watford, looking to build into Tom Cleverley. Bit of investment needed from the Pozzo owners, probably to spend with Tom Cleverley to maybe get them challenging for players. But I don't think they have that money, because they don't have the parachute payments anymore, because they haven't been in the Prem in a while. Into 13th spot, and it was Norwich City. I predicted them to finish 7th. Pretty embarrassing season for Norwich in the end on this one. They would have hoped for better, really, and so would have Delia Smith and the owners. But he's now left. Jonas Hoftherup, Jack Wilshere now in charge of Norwich. Will he continue as a full-time manager next season? We'll have to wait and see, but you can't really compare, because pre-season really doesn't tell the story of what's going on. 13th place, really disappointing. Bit off with the prediction, -6. Not the best prediction, but I've definitely had worse with the likes of Hull and Luton so far. You would expect more from Norwich, because they had the likes of Borja Sainz, Josh Sargent in the team, Maximiliano Nunez. Definitely would have expected better from Norwich City this season, but I was a bit off in the prediction, only -6. I thought they'd be a playoff chasing team. They were, but they faltered at the end of the season, and Jonas Hoftherup lost his job. So I said 7th, they finished 13th. Not good, but not bad. Into 12th spot, it was Sheffield Wednesday. I said they would finish 11th, only 1 off again. It's ridiculous how close I have come to being 1 off from the start of the season, but that is life and that is football at the end of the day. Danny Rowley's going to leave if he's going to stay. That doesn't really matter. He's had another really, really good season with Sheffield Wednesday. Kept them up last season, got mid-table, and had a little playoff chance with you the season in this one. Not bad at all, really. Pretty good prediction from me. League One side, in the Championship pretty much for Sheffield Wednesday. I've got a few Championship star players like Gassama, etc. But Danny Rowe doing the wonders again for Sheffield Wednesday. And if he does leave, you could see them being sucked into a relegation battle like they were with Cisco Muniz at the start of last season. So decent prediction from me. 1 place in it for Sheffield Wednesday in 11th and 12th. Into 11th spot we go. It was Swansea. I predicted them down in 19th. I thought they would be in a bit of a relegation battle with Luke Williams. He was sacked. And then Alan Sheehan just waited out the rest of the season, I believe. Yeah, +8 on that. Bit underwhelming for me. They were proper. Could have been in a playoff battle this season, Swansea. If they got the managerial Alan Shearer, I think he's going to be given the job full time. I think I read that somewhere. That'd be to see what he does next season. But if they are in a relegation battle, I assume he will be sacked. They need to be looking back at Russell Martin, maybe going back there. But yeah, +8 for Swansea. Definitely a lot worse than what my previous couple of predictions have been, but it's definitely still better than the likes of Luton and Hull. And so yeah, not Norwich, Swansea in 19th. Swansea in 11th. I said they'd be 19th, didn't I? So yeah, pretty bog standard prediction, but yeah, I thought there'd be in a relegation battle. You can't really predict with these mid-table sides like Bristol City, Swansea, Preston, etc. Bristol City to finish in the playoffs. We'll be on to them now in a short while. Sorry. So yeah, Swansea finishing 11th. I said 19th. Shocker. Into 10th place we go, and I said, I didn't say Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough finished 10th. I said they'd finish 6th, and they almost did. They were in that playoff race with Coventry on the final day, so it isn't that bad of a prediction. It's just where they finished behind West Bromwich Albion. And Millwall and Blackburn will be onto them shortly. So yeah, Middlesbrough, Michael Carrick still in the job, of course. I thought he might have been sacked by the end of this season. See what Steve Gifferson does in the summer as well. Maybe they've been might be falling out with the board or something like that. No issues though. Middlesbrough quite well. They'd be a bit disappointed to miss out on the playoffs considering where they were coming into the final and upcoming matches. But yeah, 10th. For Middlesbrough overall, I'd said they'd finished 6th, -4 difference. Yeah, bit unfortunate, but that is football again, and they missed out on the playoffs by 5 points in the end. Yeah, 4 points they missed out on the playoffs. So yeah, Middlesbrough finishing 10th. I said they finished 6th. Bit of a disappointing season for the Borough. 9th place we go. West Bromwich Albion finished 9th. I said West Bromwich Albion would finish 4th. A bit of a shocker from me because they were really, really poor. Carlos Corberán left. They were going to get playoffs if Carlos Corberán didn't leave for Valencia. He seems to have rescued Valencia over there. Somehow kept them up. Didn't do what Gary Neville should have done and done that. But yeah. West Brom finishing 9th in the end. The appointment of Tony Mowbray was a silly appointment, I think. It took them backwards instead of forwards, and then they waited it out with caretaker boss for the final couple of games. Yeah, West Brom be a bit underwhelmed. They didn't finish the season in the playoffs, similar to Middlesbrough, to be honest. But yeah, -5 prediction on this one. Definitely could have done a lot better. But yeah, West Brom should have probably finished around 6th. They finished 9th in the end, and I said they finished 4th, so even worse. So yeah, West Brom in 4th for me. They only finished 9th by the end of the season. Into 8th place, it is Millwall. I predicted Millwall to finish all the way down in 17th. One of the worst predictions I have had compared to, well, not as bad as Luton, but like it's still pretty bad. +9, almost 10 places difference. And they finished up in 8th, did Millwall, and were in the playoff battle till the final day before losing away at Burnley. We'll be speaking about them in a minute. I think they're the only 2 predictions I got close to right. But yeah, we'll talk about Millwall now. Millwall +9 on the prediction. I thought they'd finish in 17th. I thought it'd be in a bit of a relegation battle. Nia Harris eventually left. They then appointed Alex Neil, which proved to be a great appointment for Millwall, and they almost got in the playoffs towards the end of the season. So yeah, very good season for Millwall. If they appointed Alex Neil from the start, maybe could they have got in the playoffs. They definitely look to kick on next season and see if they can go into those playoff places. But yeah, 17th to 8th is a pretty big shock from me. A bit of a shocker I've had there, and yeah, Millwall maybe kick on next season, but yeah, horrible prediction from me. I said they'd be down in 17th, finished 8th at the end. Into 7th spot, Blackburn Rovers finished 7th. I said they finished 20th. This was a real bad one. +13 in the end for Blackburn Rovers. I thought they'd be in a relegation battle just with the Venky's, with the owner problems. Then John Eustace left, and then John Eustace did really well with Blackburn towards the start of the season, got them in a playoff mix. Amazing what he could have probably done with Birmingham last season not with the sacking when he got sacked and then when Mourinho was appointed. Amazing. He probably could have got Birmingham in the playoffs, but that's an end of story now. That's shouldn't be talked about anymore. 7th. Yeah, very good season. Valérien Ismaël propelled them up. They were looking for like a 14th, 15th place finish to Blackburn Rovers, but they did very, very well into getting back up that ladder and getting all the way up to 7th, almost taking Bristol City out of the playoffs, and should have probably beat Sheffield United on the final day. So yeah, Blackburn, horror show of a prediction from me. I said they finished 20th, they finished 7th, and Yuki Ohashi had a brilliant season, quick mention as well. So yeah, Blackburn 20th, I said finished 7th. Shocker prediction. Into 6th spot we go. I said, I didn't say Bristol City to finish in 6th. I said they finished 9th. It was close, but it was only a +3. I thought Liam Manning would do a very good job. Not as good as a job as I thought he would have done, and he's done a better job than I thought he would have done. Sorry, I cannot get my words out today. Yeah, Manning's done a lot better job than I thought he would have done. They finished in. I thought they would have finished 9th. They finished 6th, +3. Very good upgrade for Bristol City in this one. They will play Sheffield United in the playoffs on Thursday night. So don't forget to watch the prediction video for the playoffs between Sheffield United and Bristol City and Coventry and Sunderland. That's it. The other team, 4th v 5th, isn't it? So yeah, not bad. +3. It's definitely had some worse predictions today, like the last one in Blackburn. But yeah, Bristol City finishing 6th. Very good, successful season for them. As I said, they finished 9th. Liam Manning exceeded expectations at Bristol City again. Into 5th spot we go, and I've got a prediction right. I said Coventry, and I got Coventry correct. It was looking really unlikely when Mark Roberts was in charge. They were in a relegation battle at the start of the season, down in 23rd spot. Super Frank Lampard came in, propelled them up the league table, and yeah, they finished 5th in the end, and I got a prediction bang on. We'll talk about Coventry while we're here. They have a good chance of playoffs. They have a big chance of winning it, I think. Had you right. 12 goals for the season, scored more in goals than Sims. Sims only getting the 6th. I think he was hit by injury. Vanny White, won't be surprised if a Prem team picks him up in the summit. But yeah, Coventry, I got bang on. Very happy with that. And yeah, we move into 4th place now. Into 4th we go. I said, Sunderland finished 4th, didn't they? I said Sunderland would finish all the way down in 16th. I said Sunderland would finish. I just think Reggie Lebris, I don't know why. I didn't see Sunderland before they spent Enzo Lefebvre, Isidore, all them players coming in. I didn't think Reggie Lebris would be up to it his first season in the Championship. This is why I thought Sunderland would be all the way down in 16th. But no, exceeded expectations, really. Reggie Lebris' side, brilliant season for them. And yeah, a +12 is a bit of a shocker from me, to be honest. One of my worst predictions, not as bad as Luton, Blackburn, and all the others in Cardiff and Hull and all them. But yeah, so pretty bad. +12 on that one. So yeah, Sunderland getting in the playoffs, and they go play against Coventry on Friday night, I believe. So yeah, don't forget to watch out for that one. And yeah, pretty shocking prediction from me saying Sunderland will finish 16th. But yeah, they finished 4th in the end. So yeah, good stuff. Into 3rd spot we go, and it was Sheffield United. I do not want to talk about this one. I said they finished 13th. I just think with the 2-point deduction, I just think they wouldn't do well at all. But they're a parachute team. But then parachute team and Luton got relegated, so we're not going to speak on that. Chris Wilder's done a brilliant job at Sheffield United to get that team playing, get them. They need a bit of depth, though. They've still got Gustavo Hamer. I don't know how he is still playing for Sheffield United. Some Prem team like Brighton or Fulham just needs to come for him because he is top draw footballer, isn't he, Gustavo Hamer? 3rd place, Sheffield United. Very good season for Chris Wilder's side. I think Sheffield United fans would have taken that at the start of the season. Kind of bottled autos a little bit, but yeah, mid-season, but they'll be happy with that overall. I think if they're looking back today, Tom Cannon scoring 10 goals, he did better than I thought. But yeah, pretty embarrassing one in this one. So yeah, Sheffield United on a +10. So yeah, I said they'd finish 13th, they finished 3rd. So that must mean I either got 2 bang on or I missed each other out by 1. And I got them both bang on. I said Leeds would win the league and Burnley would come 2nd. We'll talk about Burnley now while we're here. Burnley, very good season under Scott Parker. What can we expect? I thought Burnley would get promoted. I think Leeds are the superior team in the division. And yeah, Burnley have the 2nd best team. Can they go and stay up in the Premier League under Scott Parker? Very much doubt that. But yeah, very, very happy with this prediction. Because yeah, they got it bang on, similar to Leeds, and yeah, Burnley be looking to charge on to the Premier League next season. Will I get them right next season by finishing probably bottom at the moment? But we need to see what they invest with the owners, etc. Same with Leeds as well. So yeah, Burnley getting bang on in this one, finishing 2nd, and I predicted them 2nd. So yeah, all good in the hood in this one. Into Leeds we go, another bang on prediction. Top 2 bang on. It's quite easy to predict. The predictions top 2 for this one is quite obvious to see who we get bang on. But yeah, Leeds United under Daniel Farke, can he be given a bit of money, a bit of time to spend? But they're already talking about sacking him, which is ridiculous. But I think the Leeds board will back him, give him a bit of money. Red Bull can sort something out as well because they want Leeds to stay in the Premier League with the sponsorship deal, etc. Yeah, very happy that I got Leeds bag on. Brilliant squad, likes of Dan James, Joel Piru scoring 19 goals, Brendan Aronson, Manor Solomon on loan from Fulham. So yeah, I know Solomon plays for Spurs, doesn't he? Yes. So yeah, very happy with that prediction. So yeah, Leeds and Burnley both hitting 100 points, and I both predicted to finish 1st and 2nd. So yeah, happy with Leeds, and yeah, that's good. Thank you very much for watching the reaction to my predictions from the start of the season. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Apart from that, thank you for watching. I'll speak to you on the next one, which will probably Championship playoffs later today or tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I'll speak to you all on the next one.